for the first time, the Swans are onward to victory.
Welcome back to A Bevy of Bloods, a fan podcast of the Sydney Swans Football Club.
So to all you loyal Swans out there who just can't get enough of the red and the white,
fluff up your tail feathers and settle in for a potentially biased yarn about all things to do with our beloved Bloods.
G'day there, Cygnus and Swanlings. Welcome back to A Bevy of Bloods. You're joined as always by the crew from Sydney. I am Chris and this is Jen.
That's right, you lucky loyal Swans fans. We're here to talk about the 2025 kickoff win over the Tigers. Welcome back, and remember, if you enjoy what you hear, make sure you give us a like and a follow. So let's kick off with a quick game recap. Back over to you, Chris.
Thank you, Jen. All right. Last Friday at our beautiful, wonderful North Sydney, our Sydney Swans defeated the Richmond Tigers by 20 points to kick off the season, 5-8-38 to our Swannies 8-10-58. Well, Jen, first impressions, kicking off the season in the right way. Cannot be happier. What did you think about that game?
Yeah, just such a well-rounded game. They started that game with so much pressure, so much intent, real pressure on the ball carriers, really great structured defensive unit, and they just were hunting for the ball. Everybody really wanted to get to the ball first, win that ball and shut the Tigers down. And then so great to see some of the big names back in for our Swannies in Malloy, Morfitt, Ham. I know she did have a couple of games at the end of the season, but they really made an impact immediately and then consistently throughout the rest of the game, and they were moving so well. And then we got introduced to some really fun, amazing, great newcomers in Zippy, Van Loo, Greason coming across from another club. Yeah, it was just a great day at the park. What about you?
Yeah, it was a wonderful, wonderful night. Like, it was a pretty good crowd. It said 4 and something thou, but it felt a lot bigger than that at the time. It always does. North Sydney just is a great venue to watch a game. But in terms of the football on the field, it was probably the most coordinated I've ever seen our girls play. Like, from a structural standpoint, from a tactical standpoint, there just seemed that everyone knew exactly where they were going all the time. There was never a moment where you could see anyone floundering. They just went. And it was a real departure from what we've seen before with some of these teams. You know, we get down to that contested footy. You know, you get throw Conti in a contested footy, she's running out of the place easily. And it seemed like we really had a structure around that. So where the footy got contested, we still had our ways to kind of get it out, head in our direction. And we set up defence in really good ways to not let them kind of move too much further than that, not get too deep inside their 50. And I think they had enough inside 50, but it's not a whole lot to show for it. So it was a really, really great game. I was probably prouder than I've ever been in of our girls, and we've been to a lot of really cool games for them. And to kick off the season like that, and to be as coordinated as we are, shows that Scotty Gowans is right on top of the money. What do you? I mean, other than that, like, this is exactly the kickoff we kind of wanted, right? To start the season, 12 games only in this season, and start off with a win over, what is a competitive unit in the Tigers.
Yeah, a really well-established team, I'd say, in the Tigers. They've got some big names in there. And exactly what you said. I felt like we had a plan for some of their big names. Conti didn't really get let off the leash until about the third quarter, so our girls were all over her. Morfitt dominated in the ruck. It was 20 hit-outs to 13, I think. Paige Scott, she really had a dominant game against us last year when she was playing for the Saints, and I think she did not get a score at all. We kept the captain KB to 1 behind, so it was just so amazing to watch. And they kept their structure for the whole game. No one really broke down when they had some intense times, which they did. It was like at the end of the second quarter and definitely in the third, the Tigers definitely got a bit of a run on and a surge. And just the amount of times we just shut them down. Like that Van Leeuwen, I said, Grayson coming across. Who else had a great game down back? I mean, BT's always amazing. McAvoy. It was just across the park, wasn't it? It was so good to see.
You've reminded me about something. So Van Loon, of course, out the back there, sitting there with BT, our wonderful Beyond Terrence, coming off an AA year, hopefully another AA year ahead of her. This whole comment that we've had in the past about the girls looking the same, it's the same.
Mhm.
It's happening again, Jen. Like Van Loon and BT, for the life of me, I was struggling to work out which was which, the way that they were moving in some spots, and they've got their characteristics when they run. But
Yep.
it's we're back here again, and the same with Zippy Fish and Gardner. I'm like, okay, which one was that one? I had to wait till the numbers turned for me to work it out. Like, we've got to work out what's going on. We really need to kind of kick off some kind of process to give them all some
Some kind
wicked
of
haircuts, like
petition.
different colors. A
Yeah.
petition. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many red and white ribbons we can give out. The red ribbon of death, of course, is Cynthia Hamilton, so we can't have too many people with a ribbon. But maybe if one of those two wore a ribbon, like either BT or Van Loon, and vice versa for Zippy and Garner,
Okay.
we might have a chance.
We might have a chance to pick them apart, although Zippy seemed to be Zippy by name, Zippy by nature, and I loved
Very much so.
her smiling, a bit of a smiling assassin there. Every time she got the ball, she just looked like she was having the best time. She didn't seem like she was
Oh
a
yeah.
first gamer on the big stage. I know she did come across, was it the Cats from VFL, but didn't get a run in there. But gee, she hit the stage running on Friday night, didn't she?
Oh, wonderful. And did you hear her post match where she said, they asked her, like, how did you feel? It didn't seem like you were too nervous. And she goes, no, I don't really get nervous about much, to be honest with you. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, this girl's designed for the big stage. She goes out there, thinks nothing of it, kicks 20 plus, kicks what, 19 or something,
It was 20,
20
what did she have?
something
26
touches.
disposals, yeah. 21
Yeah.
kicks.
Look at that.
Incredible.
Like, no problem. Like she's made for the stage, and yeah, I think we've got a really good player for a long time. We can keep her going.
Yeah, she just had, there was a few passages of play that she just, it wasn't just a 1-2, it was like a 2-3-4-5. She just ran through some of those lines and she had a smile on her face the whole time and just, she's going to be a pleasure to watch for the whole season. I know you guys had a bit of a chat last week about who's going to be bogged for the year, or definitely she's going to have to be up there for Rookie of the Year contender this year. She's going to be one to watch that I don't think we had in our mix immediately. So it's good to have a little mix up. She's going to keep Gardner on her toes and some of the bigger names moving.
Yeah, very much so. In fact, we actually got to interview. I don't know if you knew this. We got to interview Gardner at the end of the game. Warzy was there. I was there. Got on the sideline, had a quick chat to her. Unfortunately, Warzy didn't press the right button on the
Oh
phone,
no,
and so we didn't
Worsey.
record any of it. Warsy's just dropped the ball, mate. We love you, Warzy. Yeah, Warzy, for anyone listening to the men's as well, is of course our like editor, producer, man in the background doing his wicked stuff, and has jumped on the potty a few times and did last week. But yeah, he let us down there. Warsy's right, mate. You're a good guy. But yeah, I think too many beers were kind of sunk, and I think he just
The tree falls in the
the
woods,
thumb got
guys.
away from
Come
him a
on.
bit. So,
Yep.
one thing that she did say on the thing when I did ask, she said, so look how Zippy's game was unbelievable. She said, this is the problem. If they decide to sit on, like, put attention or tag anyone else, Zippy's going to get off the chain really easily all the time. It kind of was hinting to the fact that Gardner's like, you know what, they might have to give us some attention and I might get loose, kind of thing. So the glint in Gardner's eyes kind of showed that she's really excited about playing with somebody like that.
I know. I think look out the rest of the competition because we do seem to have so many girls that can rotate into that sort of midfield part of this field, and that's including that sort of half back line, the half forward line, wings is that kind of midfield. You've got red ribbon of death. You've got Ham. You've got Hurley. You've got Gardner. You've got TK. I mean, Morfitt took 5 of her own clearances. It's pretty exciting season to have someone. And then if you want to run Zippy in through there, they're going to have a hard time picking her. They're going to shut down. So it's looking very exciting for us.
There are a lot of young talents, and we forget how young Montana Ham is already kind of feels like a veteran of the game and not even played that many games because of injury. But you mentioned her earlier, having seen her out there fully fit. And this is probably the first time I've seen her like desperate for the ball. Like she's been out there, she's been playing her game, but she looks proper fit. Like she looks like she can take on the world, and she is like a sight to be seen when she's going for it. She was like like she was telling Ruck girls like, "Get out of it! I've got this" and stuff. She's a competitor, and a full season under her belt, I think she's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, I think particularly that first half of the game, that first quarter, she came out and she looked like she was going to bust out of her skin. She wanted that ball so much, or just bust the game apart. She was in everything. She was knocking people over. She was taking marks. She got that kick into Malloy, even though maybe she ran a little bit too far, but we'll take that. We'll take that. But she was just everywhere, and she was a part of so much across the field. I think she was 6 score involvements, as well as 19 disposals, 11 kicks, 8 handballs, 3 tackles. Not as high as my favourite gal, who seems to have blonde hair, so she can differentiate this year, TK with 11 tackles. But Ham, look out. She is
Yeah.
on fire. I think she wants to show the whole competition what she can actually do this year. And if she gets a full season under her belt, she's going to be up there, I think, for bog of the whole season, is my call.
I love it. An absolute beast out of the middle there with Ham. We haven't even got speaking about our captains, and probably Malloy is one we have to touch on. Take it away with her game. What did you see, Jen?
Oh, I thought maybe I'll let you take this one. But yes, obviously a goal in each quarter. Amazing. And getting our first goal to kick us off for the season. It's just so great having her back. Like she's just a superstar, isn't she? Whenever she's on the field, everything just seems to fall into place. She is our true linkage player. She reads the game so well. She moves so well. She uses her body so well. And she will rarely drop a mark. Like she has someone, it's usually twice her size on her, and she manages to outbody them and just opens up the field. And you can tell when she has the ball in her hand, the girls just calm down. She's just such a leader. What about you?
One-on-ones with Chloe Malloy it's a beautiful thing to see, and we were right there on the side, right close to her for quite 2 of those goals, and she just doesn't get bodied. Like she refuses to lose a contest, and the ball's in the air and it's one-on-one. She just is so aggressive with it, and to the point we both were saying earlier, like from a tactical standpoint, having her to be able to just sit there in the forwards and not have to go anywhere else, and just be that danger forward, be that presence where they can all kick to. We know how sharp she can kick. We know how well she reads the game. It just made everything else just work. And so for her not to have to go into the centre bounce at any point during the game that I saw, it just goes to show how good of a structure we probably got this year, with all that depth in the middle.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I always love when she goes up for the rock taps in the forward line just to get the person off her. But she'd just be a nightmare to be the opponent on, the opposition on. Even the commentators were saying, like, what do you do? She's hard to beat in the air. She's hard to beat on the ground. She's so agile. Do you stand behind her? Do you defend in front of her? Do you stay on the side of her? It's just like, good luck. And even when there's a few people on her, she seems to manage to get the ball or draw a free. So I'm glad she's on our team. I'm glad she changed and came to the red and white.
Yeah, that's what a journey it's been ever since she's been around. Of course, a fan of the podcast. One quick stat, if you don't mind me geeking out here, Jen. 55% efficiency on the inside 50s. That is wild. Like normally you're looking at anywhere like north of 30 is good. 55% is pretty tidy, and it just lent to how settled we were in that forward line. Privatelli, Malloy, like 2 old heads, very seasoned veterans in different ways, and we just seem to just be a whole lot more stable up forward, which is a big key to AFLW. Don't necessarily kick that many goals, although this first week the game is just opened up. There were so many big margins this year, so many big scores that happened in comparison to other seasons. So we may be looking at a different style of football that's producing itself with all this talent that's coming through the ring, with all these young girls kind of starting. And somebody noted, like, when the first AFLW started, so we're looking at like 10 seasons, so like 9 years, whatever the structure was, right? These girls were 11, 12 years old. You know, they're going into high school. They're starting to pick their sports. They're starting to find their feet, and they've been obsessed with footy because they've seen the comparison of what they can achieve themselves. And now we're starting to see these girls in the AFLW making their mark in the game. We might all of a sudden start seeing a totally different game this year, and I'm really thinking how that was structured. I would love to hear your thoughts about it.
100% agree. It was just so much cleaner around the park and across the weekend in so many of the games that we saw. And you're absolutely right. Because the girls are playing from a younger age and they don't have to stop now. There was usually a period of time where, you'd play up to a certain age with the boys and then the women stopped until you got to seniors and then you started again. Or probably different down in Victoria, South Australia, WA maybe start a little bit earlier, but we do know now that there's just so much more opportunity. They've seen the women playing at a professional level, so these girls are starting earlier. They know that there's pathways, there's academies, there's more attention being put into women's football. Ideally, more and more money over the years is going to go into the football, which is just going to mean the skills and the time that women can put into playing football means the game itself is just going to get better and better. But yeah, 55% efficiency, as you said, makes a massive difference. And I've seen you've got written here 53 to 25 marks. And then when you couple that with Morfett's 20 to 13 hit outs, we're just getting first access to the ball. So it starts right in the centre of that field. We get it first. We get our girls getting to work with, I think Gardner was still second highest disposal on the ground after Conti broke out in the third quarter and racked them up. But then it was all us. So Zippy 26, 27, Ham, it's just first access to the ball. And then you could see the ball would come in quickly and Priv got a few marks. Cooper got those 2 fantastic marks, which led to 2 goals using her body. But it's just coming in quick. It's really hard to defend. So couple that with better kicks, cleaner hands off the ground. It was, in comparison to last year, right, there were so many games where we were just fumbly and slippery hands. So it looks like they've worked really hard. And then those 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 18-year-olds are making us look good.
That's right. They're so clean with the ball.
It's a
Okay,
very
well,
long answer.
no, well, it's a good answer. I think that's the discussion, isn't it? It's just a different team we're seeing, and there's a lot of reasons for it. Youth, talent, time on the ground, different coaching tactic, and just maybe some better weather. I don't know. All right, big play. One thing I wanted to bring up with you, big plays. I know you love the Red Ribbon of Death.
I
Cynthia
do
Hamilton.
love Red River of Death, but I'm going to give it to you. I saw you wrote it down first. Take it away. Red River of Death.
Oh, the Red
Love
Ribbon
her.
of Death is on fire. She juked, and then slammed that goal. Sold so much candy. Willy Wonka was jealous of her that day. It was just silly. Where the crowd went absolutely ballistic. And it was that goal, I think, really kind of went, okay, the game is kind of in the pocket now. That's basically the feeling. And the crowd went nuts. Like it was 4,000 people, sound like 20,000. It was wild. So, yeah, just want to call that out. She's off to a great start, as she typically is. And, yeah, let's see her crank up some of those numbers and some of those fantasy acts. And I think she's actually got a nomination for Goal of the Year so far. So let's see how this transpires for the rest of the year. Yeah.
Yes, because I know I missed the preseason podcast last week, but I did say behind the scenes that I kind of want Ribbon of Death to be best of ground. I want to see her more in the midfield because she's just got that fire in her belly, and I just love it. And I think everyone loved her goal celebration. It was so good watching the men's 20s team on the sideline enjoy it just as much, and her celebration. I think she's a real. She gets the girls up and about, and they seem to really love her, get around her. So she's that firecracker that every team needs, especially when you come up to those hard games and you're feeling a bit down, something like that. or someone like that just really can put a light of fire under the team, and we love her for that, RRD. My big play, other than that one, I did talk about it earlier with Ham using her strength to spin out of the tackle to go down into our first goal for Malloy. But maybe a second one. Who can we shoot out to? I think we've already even said that. I think it was early in the second quarter, little Zippy. She 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches in about 30 seconds, handballing, getting it back, handball, get it back, 1-2, 1-2s, and then a kick into our forward 50 to hand. So yeah, we've just
Good.
got so many people across the park who we're going to have big plays from this year. I'm so excited.
I never thought a debutante would be so easily just line into the game and just run with it and just be not fussed. Taking the ball like that straight down the middle and then kicking into the inside 50, making opportunity from it, like too easy. Like who knows how this girl is going to be able to do with a fair bit of experience under her. Like unbelievable. All right, let's kick on with the Bob medal, which is our equivalent of the Bob Skilton medal, the Bevier Bloods medal. We give 3-1 points out every week to the best players of the week. And we, in the W side, we typically leave it to a little bit of contention. We don't come to a decision. We make the decision on the spot in the potty. So I had myself here, Malloy, Gardner, and Fish, of course. And you've got a few other names as well.
I do. I'm terrible at this. I had 4 names in contention. I've got Malloy, Morfitt, Zippy, and Ham. And I think who I'm going to go for my 3 points with her 4 goals, 8 goal assists, 14 disposals, and she was on the field for 74% of the time. I'm going to give it to Malloy. I'm actually going to go 2 points for Morfitt. She had 12 disposals, 20 hit outs to 13. She was on the field for 75% of the time, and 4 tackles and 5 clearances, which was the highest on our team. So not only did she do the hit outs, she did the clearances. And Zippy Ham. I'm gonna go Zippy. Zippy for number 3.
Oh, I love it.
A very close fourth for Ham. It was an awesome first half of the game. Just, go on. The debutante can have the 1 point. Yep.
Done. So Malloy for 3 points with her 4 goals. You always got to give them 3 points when they kick the 4 goals, especially in the W. Morfitt for just coming back and immediately starting to put an impact onto the game, getting a few stitches along the way, and no problem. She went out there again and just kept going. And then Zippy Fish on debut. Not only just for the fact that she's on debut, just the damage that she was able to hammer into the Tigers, getting the ball up forward and making sure that the back line was just a little bit more settled as well. You can't say much more than that. So, 3-2-1, Malloy, Morfitt, and Zippy Fish. All right, so that's the game in there. We are currently coming in 8th. Win-loss, of course, the 1 game, 152%. That's lovely to see. Game ahead. Jen,
Yes.
take it away. Who have we got for this week?
We've got the Suns, who did pip us last year, 50 points to 46. We've got some danger players to watch out for in the Suns. Charlie Rowbottom, I think everybody knows that name. We say it every year that we're trying to get her over to our beloved Swannies. Follow her brother across. Single, Harrod, Brent Cantisano, or other players to watch as well. And I haven't written this down early enough. Where are we watching them next week?
They are at the Gold Coast. For this week, we don't really have a location set because I'm away in Melbourne. So we are just at home, I guess.
They're at the People's First Stadium in the Gold Coast at 3:05 p.m. Let's get around them wherever you can on Saturday. We might need to put out something on our socials as to where we're going to be meeting up to watch the girls take home another win. And let's see our girls run away with it.
Beautiful. I love it. One of the names you mentioned there, Havana Harris. She is the debutante for
Mm.
this year. She has won. She's 182 centimeters.
Yes.
Big girl, super tall, crazy, really fit. Back-to-back All Australians in the under 18s, MVP of the year. Like, she has got everything in between in terms of her profile of just a fantastic football for a long time. So yeah, I guess we all know Rowbottom, but I feel that Havana Harris is a name we're going to be hearing for a long time up in the
Mm.
Goldie. So let's see. Hopefully she does no damage to us. We can keep her to the square.
Yes. Yeah, she had one goal, 2 last week with 16 disposals, but I'm hoping the way that Mitchell, Van Loon, Zippy, BT, O'Sullivan will shut them down. No problems.
Yep, love it. Predictions for this week?
Definitely a win, and I'm going to say a similar margin to this one, 20 points. Going for it.
Oh, beautiful. I was going to say, yeah, a win with 3 goals, so 18. So somewhere amongst that is where the bevy is going to have it. All right. Well, that kind of is wrapping up the potty. Any last things? I already thrown Warzy under the bus with him not being able to hit the record button on my phone. Do you have anything else, Jen, to pick up before we wrap?
Let's get around these girls this season. We could see on Friday night having 4,126 people at the game. It does make a difference, the crowd getting behind the team. And the more, as we've said every year, the more crowds we get there, the more drive we get behind this women's AFL, the better it's going to get every year. The more support we give them, and the more support the AFLW and the AFLW world is going to give them. So,
Up the Bloods
up the
and
bloods and
can't use
use
Woody.
This podcast is an independent fan-run production and is in no way affiliated with the Sydney Swans Football Club, its players, or the AFL. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of the Sydney Swans or any official organisation. All commentary is intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only.